What's up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hakamadi and C, and thank you for joining us in our Attitude Year Season 3 series recap. We just covered Raw's War, so now we're going to jump into SmackDown live from May 11th, 2000 in my hometown of New Haven, Connecticut, and this is at the New Haven Coliseum. We are just a couple of days away from Judgment Day. We've got another Raw and another SmackDown, and we've got the pay-per-view right around the corner. So to kick off this episode of SmackDown, the Dudley Boyz come out, and then Gerald Brisco immediately comes out after. Brisco says, "I like to direct your attention to the Titantron to see what I single-handedly to see that I single-handedly put Bubba Ray Dudley through a table. I am a great wrestling champion and a huge fighter for women's rights." So then he announces that TNA will take on the Dudley Boyz, and Trish Stratus is back in TNA's corner after being gone since the table bump she took at Backlash. Shane McMahon comes out. Shane says, "I'm overwhelmed with Gerald Briscoe's sentiments. I stand by my friend and hero Gerald Brisco." So the match starts. Albert accidentally runs into Trish Stratus, who ends up falling onto Gerald Brisco on the floor. The Dudleys hit 3D to Albert, but Shane McMahon pulls the referee out of the ring, and Tess lands a flying elbow drop, and TNA get the win after some help from Shane. After Big Show goes after Shane and ends up hitting Tess with a choke slam after Shane McMahon runs away, and Big Show is seen backstage looking for Shane. Next, the WWF Intercontinental Champion Chris Benoit defends against the Godfather. The Godfather tosses Benoit to the ring steps, lands a back suplex. Godfather misses the flying leg drop, and Benoit applies a crippler crossface, and the Godfather taps out. After Michael interviews the Intercontinental Champion Chris Benoit, Benoit says, "It didn't look like Chris Jericho gave up, but I will guarantee you that he did. Once I felt his body go numb, Chris Jericho had one hope for someone to break that hold. Chris Jericho didn't say I quit because he couldn't. I'm offering Jericho a chance at the title at Judgment Day. This time it will be a submission match." So Benoit challenged Jericho to a submission match. The only way to win this match, no pinfalls. You have to make your opponent tap out. We then see Jericho and Benoit fighting backstage in the parking lot. Clearly, Jericho wants his title back. The McMahon-Helmsley regime then come out to the ring. Pat Patterson shows Rikishi getting the stink face. Pat says, "Tonight I was granted permission to book a match." He books DX versus Too Cool and Rikishi in an elimination match. Shane says, "Big Show, I see you're in the back. You're asking which way did he go? I'm right here. You will fight the Dudleys in a tables match tonight." Triple H says that was a good crap. People were surprised The Rock wasn't on Raw. He has an excuse that he's filming a movie. The Rock is scared. Rocky will never be as conditioned as I am or as good as I am. As great as you think you are, you will never be the game. You don't have the heart I have. Vince says, "I understand some of you feel like we weren't fair to Chris Jericho. That's too damn bad. Look at yourselves. You compare yourselves to the beautiful people in this ring. You people are born with inferior DNA than all of us. Life is not fair. Life sucks, and then you die." So that's a very famous promo by Vince, given in the Attitude Era. Definitely in his maniacal ways, trying to make the fans feel like shit. Next, we have light heavyweight champion Dean Malenko defending against Chyna. WWF European champion Eddie Guerrero comes out during the match. Saturn comes out and drops Eddie Guerrero onto the ring steps. He lands a brainbuster to both Dean and Chyna, but Dean gets the pinfall victory over Chyna here and retains the light heavyweight championship, and Eddie is not going to be happy about this attack. We then see Bull Buchanan and Big Boss Man arrive at a bar. They push members out of the bar so they can sit down and get a drink, and they trash talk the Acolytes. We then see footage from earlier. A little boy asks Edge and Christian for autographs. They sign and then charge him $5. They then take a picture with a fan where it's basically them in the picture. The fan is covered, and they charge that fan $10, and they make fun of people from New York. We then see tag champions Edge and Christian teaming up with someone who respects them, and it's Kurt Angle. They team up against the Hardy Boys and Chris Jericho. Jeff Hardy and the Swanton bomb to Kurt, but Christian hits Matt Hardy with the ring bell, and Kurt Angle gets the victory for their team. After Kurt Angle holds Chris Jericho, so Chris Benoit can chop Jericho on the ramp. After Edge and Christian and Kurt Angle then are seen celebrating back. We then see new hardcore champion, the British Bulldog, defending against Hardcore Holly. During the match, Crash Holly comes out with a trash can and hits Hardcore Holly with it and the Bulldog. And we have new hardcore champion in Crash Holly here tonight on SmackDown. Pat Patterson shows his dirty underwear backstage, and it's gross. We then, after Crash Holly wins the title, Harper Holly hits a sit-out suplex to British Bulldog on a steel chair, clearly upset he didn't win the title. We then see a handicap tables match, the Dudley Boyz versus the Big Show. Shane McMahon comes out on stage. Big Show chokeslams Bubba Ray Dudley, and then the Dudley Boyz land a super 3D to Big Show through the table. After Shane McMahon wants the Dudley Boyz to leave, he waits for them to leave and he punches Big Show. DX attack the Dudleys who come back down. X-Pac lands a Bronco Buster, a Devon, and Tori slaps both Dudley Boyz members in the face. We then see European champion Eddie Guerrero with Chyna defending against Perry Saturn with Dean Malenko, and the Radicals are exploding in front of us. Chyna hits Perry Saturn with the vase, and Eddie gets the win. We find out that there was a lead pipe in that glass vase, and Eddie and Chyna get the victory here. Acolytes and Bull Buchanan and Big Bossman brawl in that bar, and clearly they are ruining everything in their way. Next up, we have the six-man elimination match. DX taking on Too Cool and Rikishi. X-Pac hits an X Factor to Scotty Hottie, and Scotty Hottie is the first man gone from the match. The Dudley's in at 3D to DX. Rikishi sits on DX, and both X-Pac and Road Dogg are gone. Grandmaster Sexy gets eliminated after taking a pedigree from Triple H. And then the end comes. It's down to Triple H and Rikishi. Triple H sends a face buster. And then Pat Patterson comes into the ring, and he puts in Rikishi, the dirty underwear in Rikishi's face. Rikishi headbutts Pat. He puts Pat's underwear in Triple H's face as well. Pat hits Rikishi into Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley in the corner. Rikishi does the same face to Pat Patterson. Triple H pedigrees Rikishi, and Rikishi loses. DX gets a victory here, with Triple H being the sole survivor of this elimination match. The past couple of nights, DX has had, the McMahon-Helmsley regime has had control. We will see what happens next if the McMahon-Helmsley regime can put a stop to this next week on Raw. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.